Good to see you guys. This has been, I've missed this a lot, honestly. The separation anxiety from hitting go live was real. It's good. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming down, everybody.
My little pickle, kombucha, these nuts.
It is a short intro today. Yeah, we're getting straight into it. Forgot about audio levels. Just trying to get my handles on Twitch all over again. I forgot how to drive this thing. What's going on, everybody? Straight into the juice. Smokey 280. What's up? Welcome to the stream. What's good? Big hello to everybody, and thank you as well, Jake. Thank you for the resub. Jeez Louise, man, I've waited so long. Listen, I've been very busy. You know that. I've had my hands full. It's been good, though. Good to see you, dude. And thank you for the resub. And Formula, thank you again, my brother.
Pussyo, my little pickle.
Getting your money's worth.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
Listen, I was giving you the sauce, all right? You were getting direct feed to what was happening in Italy and London. Guy from McCrowd, thank you, though. Guy from McCrowd was good. Kaiga, Sepawuku, thank you for the Prime. Thank you for 6 months. Finally, yes, I'm back. It has been a hot minute. It has been a very long time, 3 or 4 weeks, which is the longest I've gone without streaming since I started this whole thing, so definitely did miss you guys. Cytomane, what's good? Zanga fan? Pab, what's good? Zeal, he lives. Nintendox, you should totally be
Pussyo,
sleeping.
my little pickle.
I know your time zone.
These nuts.
Faith and
Have a
Science,
nice
what's
day.
good? Nintendox, thank you for the 15 months. But yes, you should be asleep. Murnip, what's good? Murnip, fucking Murnip, Turpin, Merpnip. Pick one. I told you this. Pick a name. Murnip, good to see you, dude. Thanks for coming down. Murnip was one of the peeps that I met up in London at EUIC, which was really cool.
Pussyo,
I'd met,
my little
like,
pickle.
you know, face to face.
These nuts.
Which was really
Have
fun.
a nice day.
Yeah, I actually had a really good experience with people that I met at the event who would then like hang around with me during the day, both day 1 and day 2.
Is TTS back from vacation too?
I don't know. Is TTS on? I think you might have just got a little free TTS.
Pussyo, my little pickle, kombucha.
Yes, Murnip.
These
Sorry, I'm like
nice
reading the
day.
chat. I'm like, holy shit. Oh, how do you drive? What do you do again? I forgot how this works. I actually had a full moment where I was like, I'm like, wait, they're chatting? Who do I chat to first? Where was I? This used to be so easy. Whoa, hang on. Let me just catch myself for a minute. Gotcha. What's good? I gotcha. Boba, good to see you. How you going, Boba? I'm like tripping out now. Namp, what's good? Namp, what's good? There's some subs happening and stuff too. Zanga fan, so I'm like tripping out. Zanga fan, good to see you. And thank you for the Prime. Box Kiss and Hyperwolf and Kai Kiss. I don't know why I'm wigging out. I'm actually having a moment right now. I don't know why. Okay, composure. I'm getting all sweaty too. Inza, good to see ya. How you been, dude? Congrats on your big dub. Thank you. There's a funny story there, and I'm going to talk a lot about that today. I'm going to recap the entire Europe trip, but I want to get to the Lazio Cup, because the Lazio Cup is probably one of the funniest, most surreal things that has ever happened to me. It's one of those rare things where like the stars fully align and everything is just perfect. One of those things where I lie awake at night, I'm like, man, can't one thing just go like perfectly right, please? And then it happened, and I was like, all right, I'll shut up now. I gotcha. I said hello, good to see you. Zeal, I missed you too, brother. It's funny because you were one of the last people I saw before I left at the pre-releases and stuff. Stream Elements. I just was about to shout out Stream Elements. That's how you know I'm washed. I was literally about to say Stream Elements, thanks for the sub. And that is how you know that I'm completely washed. And this is definitely my first day back. You've become one of my fav YouTubers recently, been a bunch of videos. Thank you so much, you legend. I do not stream at YouTube. I do put videos up at YouTube. I put 2 up while I was away. I was planning to put up 0. So that was kind of crazy. Regatail, good to see you, Reg. Hyperwolf, thank you again for the sub. Regatail, good to see ya. How you been? The guy wins 1 League Cup and goes on a celebration. celebration tour through the streets of Italy. But it wasn't just one League Cup Formula One, man. It wasn't just a League Cup. And you know that. It wasn't just a League Cup, all right? There's so many layers there. Boxkiss, good to see you. There's so many layers. And Boxkiss, thank you for the 5 months. Thank you. Legend. What is that anime image you sent? No, that was before the day of the tournament. That was me hyping myself up. I was trying to get in the zone. I was like firing myself up, man. I was like, that wasn't after I beat Brent. I didn't post anything after I beat Brent. And also beating Brent was just, I don't want to be like, it was whatever. It was really weird how that happened. It was a great round, but it's not like, oh, I beat Brent. I'm the best. Oh my God, no, it's not like that at all. I definitely did not do a victory parade after beating Brent. I was shitting. That was very weird. That was a weird round. Because it was kind of weird to beat Brent. But that doesn't mean anything. In Pokemon, variance is a huge thing. Just because you beat someone good doesn't mean you are better than them. I'm not better than Brent. Let me make that perfectly clear. That was just one round. But 1-0 against Brent. Sorry, Brent. Anyway, who jumped in while I was being a douche? Mr. Darcy, good to see you, Darcy. Am I good? I am good. I just had a little bit of a streamer moment. Good to see you, bro. How you been, man? Are you good for Sunday? Just double checking. You can DM me that. Whatever. Anyway, Darcy, coming Sunday. Bendigo League Challenge. Let's go. Road trip. Crystal. Good to see you, Crystal. Crystal, how you been? Crystal, the GOAT. Actually, Crystal drew. She did like a self-illustration. She did like her own trainer card. She drew a trainer card for herself. And it is actually goated. It is one of the best, like, when people draw those trainer cards, you know, like sometimes people get commissioned a full art trainer of themselves. That one is min. That's like easily top 5, top 1. I put that as like one of the best ones I've ever seen. Crystal Collects over at Instagram. You know, everyone knows Crystal. You know Crystal. Anyway, Crystal, thanks for coming down. Italian man goes to Homeland and plays Pokemon cards. Couldn't resist. Couldn't help myself. Shut off any pickups yet? I don't know. Pickups. What did I get? I don't even know what I bought. I gotta remember. We'll go through it. Thank you. Apples GGGWP, good to see Apples. And Roxanne, good to see you, Rock. Hey, been? Madge, what's good? I gotta send you stuff. I was really trying to do that before I left. Didn't do it. Mr. Kaigas is gonna whack me again, but I'll sort it this weekend. Okay, I'll sort it this weekend. I might actually just do it after stream. That's what we'll do. After stream, I'll do that. Sorry, Madge. It's all here though, which is good. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Madge. Sheesh. Did you pick up a good extra? Oh, what? No, I didn't put on weight. I didn't put on weight. I thought I did. I think, I mean, if you really want to know, I think I lost a little bit of muscle mass and then just put on like a little bit of fat, but I weigh less than what I did when I left, which I was surprised about, honestly, but I did fast on the way back. So, I look skinnier. Really? I feel like I look fatter. I fasted on the way back. So like I didn't eat for 30 hours. I just drank coffee and juice and water. So, because I had to like, you have to like reset your body. You have to like, reset your body because there's a lot of different foods eaten in Italy. Delicious foods. Delicious foods. Julian is always swagged out. Thank you, Apples. I've been watching Vinland Saga. I need to catch up on that. I'm so behind on everything. I want to start watching Oshinoko. So I got to get onto that. You look like you lost weight. What? Really? Okay, that's good. I felt fatter. There was a day in Italy where I kept taking selfies and I was like, holy crap, I'm not posting any of these because I have 3 chins and I feel disgusting right now. But thank you. I will take the compliment. FXport and I were literally just in base chat talking about the fact that you have been ghost living life lately. Glad to see you back. I did kind of dip, but I was away, so like give us a spell. I just haven't really been into do you mean like ghosting or like living life but like not updating you guys? I was trying to put updates here and there with what was happening, but the last week and a half of Italy was kind of crazy. And the entire trip was a bit of a blur. Like I was eating lunch and I just walked outside just looking at the sun from my backyard, which is something I like to do because it just relaxes me. And I was like, feels like I didn't even leave. It feels like I've just come home. Like it feels like everything happened and I'm just home now, which was really strange. So I think that's just kind of like representative of the trip being so every single day something was going on. It was wild. I didn't see an update that he went to the bathroom. Shame on you. That's because there was like 3 days where I didn't go. Can you post a workout vid? I was hoping to hit the gym today, but I don't think it's going to happen. I hate that feeling of returning home from overseas. You know what? I feel like I'm used to it now, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but after flying as much as I have in the last 6 months, I'm kind of getting used to it, and it just, I don't have that feeling anymore. I used to have that feeling a lot whenever I'd go away. And I think you get that feeling a lot when you go away having not traveled for like 3 or 4 years. Like the first time after the pandemic and the lockdown, traveling was like, oh, traveling. But now that I've done it a million times with Pokemon, it's kind of odd now. All right. So let's just do this little catch up because I did kind of want to fill you guys in on everything that happened. So I'm going to start from the top. So I was gone I left on like the 10th of April. So we left on like a Sunday evening, and there was 2 legs of the trip. The first part of the trip was London because I was obviously flying for EUIC. So there was a tournament to go and play in. And then once EUIC finished, I then jet shitted. I jet shitted. That's what I did. I jet setted. I traveled across to Italy to meet up with my dad and do a little bit of a tour through Italy, meeting all the family that I never knew I had, or that I knew that I had, but I had no idea how, like, just like me, for real they all were. All my cousins, or like 3 of the cousins from one side of my family, ridiculous. Like, just like me, for real. It was the best, it was the best 6 days of my life. It was so good. So, yeah, first leg of the trip basically was London. So I got there on the Monday, and the whole point of getting there on the Monday was so that I could get acclimated with London and like the time zone and everything before the day of the tournament or before the weekend of the tournament. Because, shush this phone. Shushy. Because for me, tournament prep is like really weird, and I still haven't worked it out, but I never get like proper sleep. Like, no, I don't know what it is, but I know what it is. It's probably like some element of anxiety, right? But I thought, go a bit earlier, get like the time zone thing sorted, get like a proper sleep schedule. You're going to give yourself the best shot at just being like ready for game day. Because playing against people that came to OCIC, so that came to Melbourne from like Europe and stuff, and hearing their stories about how they got there on like the Wednesday night and the day of the tournament is the Friday was ridiculous. I was like, that ain't right, because there's no way you can be like acclimated or like in a proper headspace before like getting there 2 days before the tournament. That's ridiculous. So I was not vibing with that. So I was like, I'll go a bit earlier. My thoughts on the UK. Okay, thoughts on the UK. All right, so first of all, good thing that this is not a UK friendly or UK time zone friendly stream. So when they're watching the VOD, they can just get upset about this. Most mid-city I have ever been to, ever. Like, it is from there, like it, usually, okay, when you're struggling to find like even like 3 good things about the place, it's an instant red flag that the place is mid. And I think the only good takeaway from London that I have is the trains. Like, the train system is pretty good. It's pretty fleshed out. You can get essentially anywhere via train, and it makes sense. At first it was trippy and I kept getting lost, but then eventually I worked it out. That was pretty good. Everything else, L. Food, L. Okay? Drinks, L. Prices, L. Prices, L. Food, L. I'm just going to say that again. The streets, L. The city, L. The royal family, L. Everything about it just utter like L. Just L for London. You understand? Like, it's so bad. I hate it. I actually would never go back unless I had to for like a tournament or something, or a convention, or like business. It is so bad. That's it. It's bad. Like, cost of living, L. The house, like the apartments, L. Just L. Everything was L. Give them a break? No. L. It's so bad. That was it. That's my story. Oh, tap water? Blah! Blah! Okay, tap water, cannot drink it. And like, they serve you tap water in the restaurant. Like, oh, do you want water? Do you want tap water? Fuck no, I don't want tap water. You might as well ask me if I want to drink piss. No, I don't want the tap water. You're going to give me water. Give me water out of a bottle. Because I can't drink this piss water that comes out of the tap.
These nuts.
Bad.
Have a nice day.
Bad. Ridiculous. So expensive. Oh my God. The people. L. Sorry. Okay. The people. No. Okay. This was the other thing that I was like, what is happening? I can't listen to this blasphemy.
My little pickle. Kombucha.
L. Sorry. There's an L in Reggae, so sorry. The tap water. No. The tap water is so bad. The tap water is bad. Disgusting. Disgusting. Okay. The people. Okay. I don't know what it is about this city. And granted, Melbourne is not like a flat straight dub city either. Okay, let me be clear. Melbourne is not the go. It's pretty good though. I don't know what it is about people in London, but they have like no peripheral vision. Like, they walk like this is their FOV. It might as well be this. Like, this is their FOV. This is literally London person FOV. This is how they walk around. Okay,
fight?
That is their FOV. They cannot see anything in their peripheral vision. They have no sense. They have like no sixth sense. They have no like sense of spatial awareness. So like, you'll be walking and they are literally NPCs. They are literally NPCs. They don't which way? Yeah, it starts being. Which way? Which way are they going? Where are they going? Are they on the left or the right? Sometimes it's the left, sometimes it's the right. In Melbourne, it's always the left. You walk on the left, okay? That's it, everywhere. In London, it's like on the escalators, you walk on the right. But on the street, you walk wherever the fuck you want. And if you're walking in towards me, this is the other one. This is the other one, okay? So 2 people walking down the street, okay? What do you do? 2 people walking down the street. What do you think happens? You move out of the way. So this guy goes to the left, that guy goes to the left, right? They're walking, they're approaching each other. Whoop, they go to the left, okay? Whoop, okay, they go like that. That's how they go, okay? That's how you do it. In London, they're just like, well, I'm not moving, and I'm not moving. And then what do? You just walk into each other. You just walk into each other. It's literally a game of chicken. Everywhere you go, you never know if they're going to move or not. So you've got to move. So why do I have to move? Why am I the one that's having to move? If you're not going to move, why do I have to move? I got to move because you're not moving. It happens everywhere. You have people just walk into you. And okay, fine. Not that big of a deal if you don't have anything, if you're just walking, right? But think about this. Imagine this. Picture this, all right? You're carrying your suitcase. You're trying to get on a train with a big suitcase, okay? Surely the person that's just walking without the big suitcase moves out of the way. No, every single time I had to move, and it was pissing me off. So spatial awareness, 0. Everybody in London City is an NPC. Absolute NPC. All right? The coffee, oh my God. The coffee, L. They don't know how to make coffee. They don't know how to make coffee. Just say, I'm walking here. They don't know how to make coffee. What do you mean? They don't know how to make coffee at all. Okay? So the coffee tastes like piss. The tap water tastes like piss. So there's 2 things that you kind of want to drink every day that taste like piss. Disgusting. All right? I think I paid like $20 for eggs, for avocado on toast multiple times because I was like, I need food. I need to eat food, right? What are my options? Okay, it's literally just hash browns or scrambled eggs, because no one knows how to cook anything else in this goddamn country. So I was like, maybe avocado on toast. 12 pounds. 12 pounds and I'm like, all right, 12 pounds probably should get me like 2 pieces of toast. So naive. 1 piece of toast. 1 piece of toast for 20 Australian dollars. In this economy, man. In this fucking economy, man. It ain't right. It's not right, damn it. It's not right. What else was bad? Literally, this was supposed to be a Europe recap. Instead, it's a review of... it's a UK review. Sainsbury's or Salisbury's? Sainsbury's. Oh, what's up, Fonzarelli? Hang on. I didn't say hello. Sorry. And Brandon. Anyone who jumped in. Sorry if I didn't say hey. Sainsbury's. Like Tesco. Okay, Tesco. Everyone's like, Tesco meal deal. Literally, Tesco meal deal was like a food poisoning accident waiting to happen. So sus. Like, it kind of looked okay, but I'm like, this is going to get sus. I didn't touch him. How were the beers? Well, we didn't drink. We barely drank anything. We barely drank because... Oh, well, I'll get to what happened on the EUIC weekend. But we barely drank anything. Yeah, Tesco meal deal was like £3. So like $6 gets you like a little bit of lunch and a drink. What else? There was one other thing that really pissed me off about it. No, I think that was about it. I could be picky and be like the toilet water was too high, but that's like, I just think that the toilet water is low in Australia. As every other country, it's really high. What else sucked? Oh, okay. So I'll get that's Sunday. We'll put the bashing of the UK on ice for a little bit. I'll continue that in a moment. By the way, hello Libero. Good to see you, dude. The famous Libero from Sydney. Limitless. Is the traffic suck in London? You know what? Didn't really experience it. Package, good to see you, Package. So yeah, so got there on the Monday, and I think I got there at like 1 p.m. And I like stayed up the whole flight because I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get my sleep schedule in order, and I'll get a good night's sleep. So I stayed up from like 1 till 9 p.m. that night. I met up straight away with Ryan and Josh, which was really cool. So Jay Sparksy over at Twitch, and he's on Twitter too. Ryan is one of the judges and players here in Australia. So that was fun. Whenever you go to like Pokemon events and you meet up with people that you know, straight away, you instantly feel comfortable, which is really nice. So like you might like, because at first I was like, damn, like I'm here for Pokemon. This is kind of weird. Like, who am I going to meet up with? Bang. You meet up with like one person, like super comfortable straight away. Sparksy was like my spirit animal that weekend. Love the dude. Yeah, I can't speak any more highly of Sparksy. Absolute legend from Tassie. He's the best. So that was really cool. On the Tuesday, we went to Brotherhood Games, which was like an LGS somewhere in London. I don't know any of the places. I can't even remember. I instantly forgot because Ryan and Josh went to get cards. So we went there, and Tim Franklin, who is one of the players here in Melbourne, he won Brisbane Regionals. We were actually rooming together. So Tim was arriving on the Tuesday. Oh, Tim got so cooked as well. So Tim was meant to get there on the Saturday or Sunday to London because he was going to meet up with his sister. But he got like severe food poisoning on the Friday the week before. So he got food poisoning so hard, he had to delay his flight 2 days, which was ridiculous. Or 3 days. It was something crazy. He actually couldn't fly. He was like dead. And so Tim rocked up on the Tuesday, met us at Brotherhood Games. He was kind of cooked. And then we went back to the place to sleep. And this was kind of like where the trip started going downhill for me. Because on the Tuesday night, so on the Monday night, I'd had like a pretty good night's sleep. The Tuesday night, Tim was like kind of cooked. And then my body was like getting cooked. And I think this was when I severely underestimated like jet lag and your body requiring like acclimation ASAP, because I'm a regular person. So, you know, wake up in the morning, have a bit of water, coffee, bang, 8:30, like it's like clockwork every single day for the last however many years. It just happens. Like I just am at the same time going to the place that we go. You know the place that we go. So I'm pretty good with that. But my body was like, that is the rule. Like at this moment, we go. And it has no respect for the time of another country. It was like, it's now. Its time is now. So the way that was happening was I'd go to bed, but my body was like, hey, what are we going to sleep for? It's time to do the thing and go to the place. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then my body was holding it in, and I'd wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m. and absolutely like decimate the porcelain, and it was bad, right? And I think Tim was kind of still cooked too. So we'd go to bed and then wake up in the dead of the night, and then there's just no going back to sleep. Also, I was like tilted by any noise. It was bad. So basically Tuesday night, I just wasn't getting sleep. Bad. And then Wednesday night, didn't get sleep either. And this was when I was like, my panic stations were going off, because if you don't get sleep before an event, you start stressing out. Anyway, Wednesday was so the tournament day 1 of EUIC was on the Friday. Wednesday was basically prep day, and Thursday. Tuesday was too, but Wednesday was like when the hardcore prep started. So we didn't really have plans. Like Tim and I were just like, we're gonna meet up, we'll room together, and we'll just like test all day. And we hadn't worked out what deck we were playing. I had come to EUIC with Sky Steel Stone Lost Box, and I was like, I'm pretty confident with this. Like I feel like this is gonna be good. And then we just like flipped it upside down within like a couple of hours, and we moved over to the Forest Siltstone version of the deck on the Wednesday, and we were kind of like cooking with that for a little bit, which was fun. And then the other Australians that were, I don't know why I said Australians, the other Aussies that were over there for EUIC, they'd all arrived at this point. So Tim and I got there. So I got there super early. So did Sparksy, to be honest. Tim got there early. What's up, Joe? Good to see you, dude. No, I didn't win. I won one. I won one of 2. And JavaScar, good to see you. Thanks for coming down. 3TC, what's good? So by that point, everyone had rocked up, and we just like messaged, met up. Wednesday and Thursday was some of the most intense Pokemon I had ever played in my life, and it was so good. It was probably like the amount I improved like between Wednesday and Thursday before the day of the tournament was actually kind of scary in hindsight, because it wasn't so much like I was playing. It wasn't so much that I was playing better. That it was more that I was like seeing the game from like over the shoulder, if that makes a little bit of sense. So like, I feel like with Pokemon, you just get better and better the more games you play. But the more that you play with other people, that is where, when you start playing with other people and exchanging ideas and actually talking about your thought processes, that is where like the 4 weeks or the 6 weeks of like every day playing Pokemon on TCG Live, where all the stuff you've learned actually comes to fruition and is realized. So it happens like, it kind of happens like intangibly while you're playing the game, like, and it's there in your brain, like it's there, like you're learning the stuff, like it's in there, right? You're doing the things, you're becoming a better player, but it's like in a box that's locked. So everything just goes into that box. So it's definitely going in your brain, right? But it's just going to this box, and the box is locked. So when you want to go open it later, you're probably not going to be able to open it up. You don't have the key. But when you go and like play with other people and start talking about what you're doing and discussing lines and theorizing, the box unlocks, and all those things you've learned just come out, and you really start to appreciate and understand them just a little bit better. And at that point, you become a better player. That is like this. It's like kind of like evolving without being like too cringe. It's like you level up at that point. Like that's when you evolve and you become a better player. So it's unidentifiable data. Like it's there, but it's like you don't know how to read it. And then when you meet up with people and play together and like really thrash out games, then you learn the language and you read it, and it's really good. So it was like a bit of a TCG boot camp. It was crazy. And the people that I did it with was like, yeah, I can't speak any more highly of the people that I did it with, like Nat Miller, Brent Tonneson, Matty Burris. One of my like, it's so funny because James Cox, right? He's fucking like, I'm like, bro, what's good? I'm like a fanboy. And he just like doesn't know how to like deal with it. He's like, what? Like, I'm like, what's good, James? Let's go. James Cox, James CX on YouTube. The guy that like thrashes Lost Zone, does all the Lost Zone games. Yeah, it was fun playing with him. Like, you learn a lot. Tim was there, obviously. Jake Lazari was there as well. A few of the EU players too. It was really good. It was really, really good. It was just fun though. Like, it wasn't even like I got better and I'm happy about that. It was like I legitimately had so much fun on the Wednesday, Thursday, just trying to get as good as we could with those peeps. It was just, yeah, it was really fun. And I loved every second of that. So I'll treasure those couple of days for the rest of my life. They're the best, those guys. So yeah, Wednesday and Thursday was just literally grinding. I ended up swapping my Airbnb because I was like, I need to get sleep and I didn't want to disturb Tim either. So I booked like another night at a different place that was still close to the venue so that like I could get a proper night's sleep on the Thursday night. And then, yeah, then Friday was the day of the tournament. And I completely cooked it as well. So, so Friday was the day of the tournament, day 1, 9 a.m. start. You ideally want to get to the venue between like 8 and 8:20. 8 and 8:30 is like probably a good time to get to the tournament. Because round 1 pairings go up at like 8:30, 8:45. So you kind of want to like be in by at least 8:30, 8:40 at the latest, right? So the night before, I was like, tomorrow's a big day. It's time to get ready. Pack everything. My deck, done. Deck list submission completed. Re-sleeves, done. Everything in the box, everything in my bag, ready to go. I packed it all so that all I had to do was get up, have a shower, get changed, brush my teeth, go. Which I did. And I was like, good for time. And I was like having a chill walk across to the XL Center, and it started raining a little bit, but it was like, wasn't hard. It was just like drizzle, you know, really good. Started vlogging a little bit of it.
Kombucha.
Talking about the Euro trip while Euros can't watch. Hey, time zones, all right? Thanks for 26 months, Otto. What are you doing up? So I'm walking across. I get into the venue. I'm fully chill. Like, this is good. We're fine. I start seeing people in the line. I'm like, oh, hey, you know, what's good? We'll catch up when we get in there. And then halfway walking to the back of the line, I realized I had made a terrible mistake because I didn't have my lanyard. I didn't have my ticket. And I couldn't get in without that. That was my competitor pass. If you've ever been to an IC, you get this thing. The night before, when you go and check in, you get a bag. And inside the bags, you got like a hat, playmat, sleeves. You get a promo, Ultra Ball promo. But you get a lanyard and a pass. And you need the pass to get into the venue. Without that, you can't enter, you can't play. And I left it at the Airbnb. So I couldn't get in. And I realized this, not like after I'd lined up, but I realized this while I'd walked into the event. The problem was that the Airbnb was 20 minutes away, which meant a 20-minute walk back and a 20-minute walk again back to the XL Center to play. And the time just wasn't working. Okay, it wasn't gonna be a thing.
My little pickle.
I wasn't gonna make it happen.
These nuts.
Loviet, thank you for the prime. But Becca hasn't been streaming and broke my streak. Oh, you broke your own streak. You could have done it while I was offline. Thank you for the prime, lol. Your boss. Thank you for 20 months. So, yeah, it was basically panic stations. And the other issue was that I was staying across the river. So if you've been to the XL Center, you'd know that there's like a river along it. I was staying across the river, which meant I had to go up this really tall staircase. It's like 8 flights of stairs. Go across the bridge, and then go down another set of 8 flights, and then run back to my Airbnb. So I was trying to compose myself, but I was panicking, which I think was natural given what had happened.
Pussyo, my little pickle.
Nathan, thank you for the sub.
These nuts.
Thank you for 4 months in a row, Nathan. Your boss. Good to see you again. And so I think I just naturally panicked, which was fine. Got across the bridge, tried to get an Uber. I was messaging the Airbnb dude because they actually lived in the apartment, which was kind of weird, champ, but whatever.
My little pickle. Kombucha.
Inza, thank you.
These nuts.
Couple of primers.
Have
all the
nice
primers
day.
are just jumping in. Thank you, primers. Thank you, Inza. But yeah, I was messaging that just quietly. The Airbnb that I stayed at was like someone's apartment that they were living with their wife, and I was like in a room, which was kind of weird, but the room was really nice, and they were really nice too. But I was just like, this is kind of weird. But I just went with it. Anyway, I was mentioning that dude being like, hey, in my room is this pass. Can you like get it and like run down and meet me with it And he was like, bro, I'm about to start work from home, but you've got like 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'm out of action. So I had to like get an Uber back. The Uber took forever to get there to me. Got the pass, Uber back to the venue. The dude dropped me off at the wrong side of the XL Center. So he could have like driven another like 30 seconds and saved me 5 minutes, but he dropped me off here and was like, yeah, you'll be fine. And so then I had to like run from this side of the XL to this side. So at this point I'm sweating like an animal, and you don't want to feel like this before you're round one. You just don't, especially when you flew however many miles or kilometers it was, 25 hours to get to Europe. You don't want to be late like this, especially when you get there on a Monday. If it was just a colossal screw up, that could have been avoided if I just put the lanyard in my bag, but I was too comfortable with having done like the regionals where you don't need a pass, and OCIC where I was like, oh, my pass is just at home. I don't know why I made this mistake, but I did. Anyway, got through bag check, ran to the table, and the opening ceremony hadn't finished yet. And so because it hadn't finished, the round hadn't started, and I get to the table, I sit down, like I literally like jump in the seat, slam my mat, deck comes out. I'm like going like a million miles. I'd already pile shuffled and shuffled like rigorously the night before. So I did a quick few shuffles, deck down, go for the cut. Round starts. Someone comes over. We're deck checking you two. And I was just like, thank you. Whoever just, thank you. Oh, thank you so much, because the deck check meant that I had like 15 minutes to just breathe and actually like just compose myself. The deck check was random, or maybe they just saw me like run in rapidly and be like, yeah, definitely that guy. We're 100% deck checking that dude. But yeah, they deck checked me before the round even started, which meant I got to catch my breath, which meant I got to cool down, and then it was fine. Like I played the round. I had compartmentalized all the stress and the anxiety of like being late, because I knew like I just knew that I had to like just put that to bed. I knew that if I let it ruin me and be like, oh my God, I'm going to lose now because I was late. I knew that if I started thinking like that I would then do those things. So it was just like, all right, we're late. We cooked it. It's fine. We're here now. We made it. We didn't get a penalty. We're good. Let's play. And I tied because you know what? I feel like my opponent played out the game 3 slowly to lock up a tie, because it was Lost Box versus Mew, and I did take the Drapion, so that's a favorable matchup for me. But yeah, I won. I think I lost game 1. I scooped game 1. No, actually, I made one mistake in game 1, but it's like it was debatable whether this was a mistake or not. Okay, it's debatable whether this was a mistake or not. Okay, so in game 1, I think I had like 2 comfy down, and I had a Cramorant in my hand, and I didn't play it. I was going first, and I think I didn't want to get judged. So I was like, I don't want to get judged. I want him to think that my hand is bad. So I didn't play down the Cram, which I think was the right choice. Okay. But I could have just put the Cram down and been done with it. But I didn't want him to think that I had a good hand and that I had Colress in my hand. So I didn't play the Cram. I wanted him to think that I had a bad hand. So I didn't play the Cram down, and then I got judged, and then I drew into like nothing. There's a wasp in here. Why the fuck is there a bee in the house? The door's closed. There's literally a bee in. What the hell? Why is there a bee in here? You know what? I'm in the middle of a story. I'm just gonna keep telling the story. And then I got judged, and I drew into nothing. So I scooped game 1, won game 2, and then yeah, game 3 was just kind of slow. So that was the lead up to day 1. I could go through like a lot. I don't want to go through like a full recap of day 1 of EUIC. So I know the less cards you play, the more likely you have Colress. No, I don't. Nah, I disagree. I could have had like 5 energy in my hand. Look, whatever. It's debatable whether that was a mistake. Because if I'd played the Cram, then it would have been 1 less card in my hand when I got judged. So there was a higher chance I'd judge into better cards that I would actually need. But I didn't. So it was like whatever. It was whatever. I say I won't lose sleep over it, but I have not stopped thinking about whether that was the right decision or not. It depends. I think it depends. Is there any cheating incident? There were a few incidents at EUIC. I think I'm going to save all like the what's been happening. I don't know. You always bench it? Oh, here we go. Is this a discussion for Busted? I reckon this is a discussion for Sunday Busted recap. I do think I don't know, Das, I feel like I'm in copage. Like, I do think you bench. I think you always play it. Because then if you get judged and you need it next turn and then you don't have it, it's there. So yeah, you're right. I'm in copage mode, but it's whatever. That was like the only like critical error I think I made. I made a few others during the day. I'll do a recap of EUIC, like the actual day one stuff. I kind of just want to talk about trip-ish. Because if you want me to do a round by round, I can. I was thinking of actually filming a video talking about round by round later today. Just like a personal diary so I don't forget it. Because it has been like 3 or 4 weeks now. So yeah. If you guys have been following my journey, you would know that, yeah, I didn't make day 2, which was annoying. I think on my last... so actually, I haven't spoken about all this stuff. So I lost my round 7, I think. Yeah, I lost my round 7. And because I lost my round 7, that knocked me out of day 2 contention. So I had to win out to make points from round 7 to round 9. From round 8 and round 9, I had to win out to make points. And I won round 8. And then round 9, I played against Ryan Antonucci, which is one of America's, I think he's like top 20 in the region for championship points at the moment. I played against Ryan and I lost on the last round, the last turn of time. I thought I was in an unlosable position. I was like, there is absolutely no way I lose this game. And I lost it. And I lost it because I had a Dragonite V out and I just didn't set up the board properly the turn before. And I think that came down to just not knowing the deck well enough before the event. So it wasn't that I got cocky. No, it was that I played out my turn in a way that I was like, no matter what happens, he can't take 2 prizes here unless he has the absolute nuts. Like, unless he goes ham. I'm almost certain he cannot take 2 prizes here. And then he took 2 prizes. So he cooked me pretty hard. It was actually kind of fun to watch. But I couldn't be mad about it because in my round 6, when I was in this position where I had to win out, because by round 4, I just had to like win the rest of the... I had to just win the rest of the day because I tied a lot. That was the other thing. I tied a lot day 1. So by round 5, I had to just keep winning. So I think I won like round 5, and then round 6, I won on the last turn of time, game 3 against the Mew because I drew the nuts. It was insane. Off the Roxanne, I drew into Colress. Into Colress, I drew into Forest Sealstone. Into Forest Sealstone, I drew into Lost Vacuum, the last one I had in the deck. I basically like... I played it so that I saw every card in my deck and made sure that I was going to see the vacuum, bump the path, switch card or whatever, knock out with the Drapion. It was really cool. I was really hyped about that round. But yeah, so I did that to somebody in the day. So then it happened to me. It's just the game of what happens. So it was disappointing to not make points after traveling to an IC, but I wasn't the only one. That happened to 1,1300 other people. So you can't like cry about it too hard. It just is what it is. You got to take the experience, get as much out of it, learn as much out from the experience as you possibly can so that you can get the most out of it rather than just lose, cry, shit your pants, and then go home. And then, yeah, wake up and the next day's a new day. Day 2 was fun. What did I do on day 2? I don't even remember. But the whole event, day 2, I went to the Pokemon Center. Day 2, I went to the Pokemon Center and I was kind of late because I started on day 2 doing like a bit of a vlog film documentary thing around Nat Miller and Matty Burris because Nat and Matt were the only 2 players that made it into day 2 from the Australian side, or I guess from the Aussie crew that we were like hanging out with. So that was that became like a thing where it was like you wanted to see Nat and Maddie Boris go as far as they could. So I was late to the Pokemon Center because I was filming them in the morning, which is going to be a cool part of the EUIC vlog, by the way. And then went to the Pokemon Center, kind of longish line. Didn't have to wait too long, but there was so much stuff. And I think I didn't get the backpack. The backpack was like the only thing that I didn't get from the Pokemon Center, which was a bit annoying. But I got a cool sweater. I got the mat. I got the deck box. I got the sleeves. I got some key rings. I think I spent like $300, which was stupid. But I got carried away. I can show you guys some of the merch. You want me to show you? I'll go get some of the merch. Give me a second. I'll show you what I got from Pokemon Center. uh, Come on. God damn it. Is the mic on? You guys said to get a remember when you guys were like, hey, get a dummy battery. The dummy batteries suck. They just stopped working. They're so bad. Let's try this. Back to the old-fashioned way. All right, back to the old-fashioned way. Okay, here we go. So here's the pass that you just never forget this. If you go to an IC, don't forget this. You need this to enter. Don't be like me. Don't become a statistic. All right? The pass is cool. Like, even the pass is cool. That's the competitor deck box. So this is just from the competitor kit. I've just got everything. Here are the sleeves. The sleeves are really good. These are actually really good sleeves. One of my roomies left his pass at the Airbnb too. It's just such a rookie mistake. So bad. These are the sleeves. Oh, you get 2 sets of sleeves in the competitor kit. Here's, oh yeah, well, let's just do it this way. This is way better. So this was a Eevee pin that I bought because I thought it was really cool. And I was like, I'll buy that. So that's fantastic. I like that a lot. A fridge magnet. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this too because I just think that's really cool. It's like a cool way. Every time I open the fridge, I'm going to be like, hey, what a cool time EUIC was. I'll always remember it. Yeah, cool. This was actually from Jonas from Nicro from Germany. He bought this for me at Worlds last year, but I hadn't. This was the first time I met him, so he finally was able to give it to me. By the way, Percolato, I didn't say hello. So rude. What's good, Percolato? Yeah, it's the gamer fridge. Every time I go to have breakfast, I'm gonna remember EUIC. It's a great memory. And the Pikachu. This was really cool too. So he bought these for me last year, but I was finally able to get him, which was cool. And I was just like, I forgot about him too. I was like, oh wait, I forgot that I bought this stuff. Now it's cool because like I get it. It's like I get it for free. I'd already paid for it. What else do I have here? Oh, this mat. I bought this pin too. No, wait, you don't buy this one. You get this one. Yeah, all the competitive stuff for the ICs this season is cracked. It is so good. I wonder what the Worlds mat's gonna be crazy. I bought this. I don't know. I felt like I went into like buy mode. So like at the Pokemon Center, there's just so much stuff. Like an insane amount of stuff, right? So it's like, what do you get? Because some of the stuff you can get it from anywhere, right? You can get like anything that isn't IC branded, you can kind of just get at any point. There's a lot of like Pokemon. If you've never been to a Pokemon Center, period, yeah, I guess there's stuff that you could only get from a Pokemon Center. But if you've been to the States and gone to the Pokemon Center there, wait, do they have Pokemon Center stores? The point is, I just went for all like the EUIC or the IC stuff. So I got this. What is this? It's a key ring. I don't even know what it is, but it was like a thing with the starters and it says IC on it, I think. So I was like, I'll get that. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I think this was like, I had to buy that. So I don't even wear lanyards, but like this is just insane drip. Like mini pins and a lanyard that is themed with like the EUIC mat stuff, like so cracked. Like that's insane just for the pins alone. Like Evolution stuff is insta buy. So yeah, I got this too. The Pikachu pin seems out of place. You know what? You're not wrong. You're right. It does, doesn't it? But hey, we ball. We ball anyway, right? This was the competitor mat. Which is like insane. For a play mat, this is insane. It says Europe. That's how you know it's the Europe one. That's crazy. Bren Sensei, how much do you have to pay to be a competitor? For EUIC, it was 100 Australian dollars, which was actually quite a lot. OCIC was 70 Australian dollars. I got the Worlds mat, so I didn't play at London Worlds, the Worlds in London, but hey, we got the mat anyway, so I'm one of the cool kids now. I've got a mat from Worlds. Doesn't say competitor. It is just the play mat that you buy, but still cool nonetheless. Have you guys seen the EUIC playmat? I know some of you guys will have. I know yours says competitor. I didn't get the EUIC playmat. Give me a sec. No, I did. I just didn't. I forgot. I also got this deck box. So it's like two deck boxes in one so that you can put two decks in it. It's also Evolution themed. It's all Evolution themed, which was really cool. And the playmat. Now this was like really hard to get. This was ridiculously hard to get. I think it sold out by the Sunday. It was gone. So this wasn't a competitor mat. This was a like the mat that you could buy at the Pokemon Center. Insanely cracked this mat. It's so good. It's so good. Like they absolutely dominated with it, which is really nice. The real Eevee heroes. It is a top tier mat. Like it's insane. They didn't have to go this hard, but they did. So if you see here, right? It says Pokemon International Championships. It doesn't say Europe. So I think we're going to see this merch at NAIC. So if you're going to NAIC, you can probably get this mat. But it's going to be the most in-demand item for sure. It's funny how like Ultra Pro stuff comes out and it stinks. And then you get mats like this, which are like insane. Somebody said, I should have got you to get me stuff from the Pokemon Center. I think it was Zeal. Just wasn't happening. Just wasn't. There was no reality where that was happening. It was so hard to get all this stuff. Like it was selling out at like 8:30, 9 a.m. every day. So that was pretty goated. Hey, Nat Miller, what's good? It's the famous Natalie Miller. What's good, Natalie? Here comes a shout out. Shout out. Natalie Miller. So Nat Miller is one of Oz's not as famous as you. No, come on. Hey, look, one thing's for sure. We're both more famous than Brent. Natalie Miller is one of Oz's best players. She's Brisbane based. She did win Brisbane Regionals a few years ago. And she streams over at twitch.tv/Natalie Miller. So if you guys are looking to get better at playing Pokemon, Nat's streams are a great place to go and do that. And she's really ramped up her content game at the moment too. So she's streaming quite often. And she is starting YouTube soon, isn't she? She is. So Nat is the same Nat that I was singing praises for earlier in the stream. I've been doing a bit of a recap of EUIC. I was talking about the week lead up. So Nat, thanks for coming down. Love you a bunch. Thank you. Quick cheap shot at Brent. Oh, don't worry. I got plenty more where those came from. So that was day 2 in the morning. I went to the Pokemon Center and then, oh, man. So like from 8:30 a.m. and this isn't meant to be like, I just want to make this perfectly clear. I'm not being like, oh, I'm Mr. Popular, famous guy. No. Okay. Because this was part of the event that was like most special to me, or just another part of what made it so unforgettable. From like 9 a.m. till like 5, like essentially the whole of day 2, I just kept bumping into people. So it felt like every 15 minutes, I would just bump into a new person. Murnip was one of them. Even on day 1, like Taste Vengeance and Benji, I think, and those guys are asleep because they're Europe based. But yeah, like bumping into people and being like, oh, okJLUV was like insane for me. And every time I had to stop and talk to the person because it was just so crazy that somebody who watched my videos for so long was there saying that they love my videos. And I'm like, you are the best for watching. Thank you. All day, I just kept bumping into people. So Murnip and I hung out for a little bit. I was in Piximon Center Ladies video. Funchlax over on Instagram. I met Mudkip Trader. I met just so many people all of day 2. I met Poker Chloe and Poker Dean. So Poker Dean was like playing the London Cup. That's right, because day 2 was the London Cup. But I was like burnt out from day 1 and I was like, yeah, I'll just play cups when I get back. And I didn't appreciate that London Cup was actually like a pretty big deal and I probably should have played it in hindsight. So London Cup was like another tournament that they did on day 2 for the people that didn't make day 2. It was a cup, a league cup. So the most championship points you could get was 50 for winning. But because it was like the EUIC London Cup, it was just like stacked with all of like the really good players that didn't make day 2. So it was one of the hardest league cups ever. And for not great gain, because like the most points you could get was 50. So I didn't play it. Brent and James played it, but James Cox draw. He was having a mare. Poor James. But James dropped. A few others played it. I can't remember. I think Laz played it. I can't really remember. But I didn't play it. But yeah, I was just like walking around day 2 in the venue and then I saw Poker Dean. I was like, what the hell? Dude was playing in the London Cup. And then I met Poker Chloe out of nowhere. And so like we did this like impromptu interview, which was cool. So that'll go on the vlog. I met American Dad, Twitch streamer, who is like, that dude is incredible. I had no idea he was a player. and I had no idea he had been playing Pokemon for as long as he had been. So that was really cool. But yeah, day 2 was mostly just socializing. And then I thought we'd go out on the Saturday night, but one of the main bars had closed, so nobody really went out drinking, which was a massive buzzkill. That was actually really sad because I was really hoping to just like get loose with all the people from around the world, but like nothing happened. So I hope NAIC goes a little bit differently. I hope that happens at NAIC because like day 1 at night, you want to rest because you might have made day 2, right? Day 2, only 2 people from Masters make the finals. So, you know, as many people as are willing I reckon should go out and have a bit of fun. Like, why not? You only get to see each other like that 2 or 3 times a year. So hopefully that happens in Columbus. Yeah, agreed, Nat, for NAIC. It didn't really happen at OCIC though either. Like we kind of like tried to get something going on, but it can be like a little bit with Pokemon because like as long as it's not like connected to Pokemon anyway, I think you can say like party, but it's not an official thing. But Crown was alright, but everyone was like split. Everyone was so divided. Yeah, I just hope there's like a really good after party in Columbus. So that was Saturday night. And then Sunday, what did I do? I think Sunday was like, oh yeah, Sunday I was like, I might as well go like kind of sightseeing. So Sunday I went to Buckingham Palace. That was like the one thing I did. And honestly, I regretted it because it was just mid. I did it just so I could get like 1 minute of content. And then I was like, okay, now it's kind of worth it. And then I went back to XL Center and met up with Jake Gearhart and Brent. So Brent came second in the London Cup. And then Brent was hanging around on the day 3. Wait, because day 3 was cut of London Cup. Yeah, that's right. So I ended up catching up with Jake Gearhart. You might know from Twitter. The Jake Gearhart. He is a real person, not just an account. The OCICLs continued at the poker table. I played blackjack that weekend. But everyone was so split. All like the Aussie community was split at OCIC. So yeah, on the day 3, it was like what, 4 or 5 at that point, like the Masters final had happened and everyone was just kind of winding down. I went and played, I did a cube, which I'd never done. I'd never cubed before, which was crazy. So I was hanging out with Jake and Brent rocked up and Jake was like, oh, I'm going to go play cube with like Joe Bernard from Omni Joe. I was like, oh, okay. I've never played cube before. So I was like, I won't play. He's like, you're welcome to come watch. And I was like, yeah, I'll come watch. Like, that sounds cool. So I went to go watch Jake play Cube. Cube, if you don't know, so sorry, not many people know what Cube is. I didn't really know properly, and my explanation is going to stink. So Cube is like almost like a draft format of Pokemon where one person makes the cube, and the cube is like, it's like so many different cards from so many different periods of Pokemon put into this one format where it's like highly curated so that it's like balanced, and you pass around these cubes in like a circle of 8 and you draft your deck. So like from when the cube comes to you, you take 1 card. That stack might have like 60 cards in it. So you take 1 card, and then when the next cube comes, you take another card. And like the whole thing is you're trying to take cards that are going to work in your deck, but the cube only has X amount of cards. So like there's only 6 Cyndaquil, 4 Quilava, and 3 Typhlosion or something, or you know, some kind of breakdown like that. But you can just imagine that there isn't like thick lines of any particular type of Pokemon, so you kind of have to like make your deck with that in mind. Cube is great, I think, if you have played like every era of Pokemon, because like you would just like know everything.
My Little Pickle, Kombucha,
Tropical, thank you for the resub, my guy.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
Thank you for 21 months, you legend. Don't make me run. I'm full of. I've missed the Simpsons references, dude. Thank you for 21 months, dude. So yeah, like you're trying to build a deck, but if you don't know every card that's in the cube, or like you don't have an understanding of like what the of like what kind of deck you're going to be able to build with those cards, because and you wouldn't unless you've played in that era, then the draft aspect is like really difficult. Luckily, Jake was like talking me through a lot of the stuff. So I ended up making a deck. I was trying to build like this Riolu Lucario deck, Lucario, Bronzong, and there was like a Skarmory. But basically the idea was like you move energy around with like the Bronzong and the Lucario. There's like cards that make it like a bit of a tank, and like it's a stage 1 line. So like it's quick to start attacking, and then you make it tanky and it hits hard. It was really fun.
Welcome back, fam.
But I lost because like Joe Bernard made like the most cracked deck you've ever seen. Jake's deck was like insane. Brent's deck was wild. Frosted Caribou was there, which was really cool. Tord rocked up, which was crazy. So like you were just seeing like at this thing, it was just like people that
Pussyo,
just like,
my
hey,
little
what's up?
pickle,
And then you're playing
kombucha,
Pokemon. It was really fun.
these
The
nuts,
deck building
have a nice
aspect of
day.
Cube was like probably the most fun I've had with like deck building ever. Cause like it was like, how do I make this on the go? How do I make this like work? How do I draft it? And then like, is it working? And then like as you get to like the 40th or 50th card, you're like, that's sick. You're having like a good time. Prof BK, what's good? Ben, missed you, man. You come around on Sunday? Yeah, you are. Bendigo League Challenge, and then a busted stream right after to recap it. Thanks for the resub, Ben. Thanks for the prime. Were there many people playing GLC? I didn't really like walk around the tables that much on day 3. So I'm pretty sure people were playing GLC. I just wasn't there. But nah, Cube was sick. And then that was like Cube from...
Am I getting my box any soon?
Yes, you
Kappa.
are. I'm going to ship all that. I'm going to see Revel soon. I'm going to ship all that stuff soon. Yeah, but the Cube went from like 5 p.m. until like 12 a.m. And I was leaving for Italy on the Monday morning at like 7 a.m. So I got back to the apartment at like some ungodly hour. And then I had to pack while Tim was sleeping, get up like first thing in the morning, and then I flew off to Italy. And that was it. That was London. It happened very quickly. It was like over almost as quickly as it started. But it was fun. And yeah, I would do it the same way all over again. Actually, no, the one thing I would change is I would probably sleep on my own. That's about it. Because I'm precious. Oh, I didn't show you this. This was the other thing I got from the Pokemon Center. So that's really cool. You know how I love my sweaters. I thought that sweater was sick. I had to get that. What else happened on the weekend? Honestly, I feel like that was it for London. Yeah, on the Friday, on day 1, that was about as much as I kind of like want to recap now. I think on Sunday during the Busted stream, I will do more of a like, I'll tell you about my experience at the event and like from a player perspective, but that's pretty much, that's EUIC. So Monday I landed in Milan, and then from Milan I took a flight to Calabria, the south of Italy, met up with my dad, and I met all my cousins. So I met so many cousins that I never knew I had. It turns out 3 of them, who are all like between 20 and 24, are like massive weebs, like hardcore. Like I was like surprised that they were like the kind of weebs they were. I was wearing an Attack on Titan t-shirt, and like I got there and like we're having dinner. Within like 5 minutes, it was so base. Salvatore, he's like my most base cousin by far, right? And he was like, "Oh, do you read Attack on Titan?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What did you think of the last chapter?" And I was like, "Honestly, I fucking hated it." And he was like, "Based." And it was like at that moment I knew we were gonna hit it off. We like all the same things. We have all like the exact same stupid sense of humor. It was really fun. I hung out down there with those cousins for about 6 days, and that was when I was sort of filming. You guys saw the videos that I put up on the channel at that point, where I was talking about like the stolen cards and stuff. Yeah, I filmed that in one of the towns down there, which was really nice. It felt nice to film a video down there. And then on the Saturday we left Calabria, and on the Sunday we left Calabria, and then we went up to Florence. So I stayed in Florence for about 5 days with my dad. This whole trip was with my dad, by the way, and we just did like a heap of sightseeing. It was like sightseeing and eating food speed challenge. It was really cool. Florence was really nice. I actually liked Florence more than Rome. So Florence was when I started getting the itch for Pokemon again. So there was one weekend where I didn't play Pokemon, which was the weekend that so Florence was the weekend after EUIC. So let me have a sip, right? Okay, so we get to Florence, and I'm like, cool. I'm looking at my Twitter feed and my Instagram feed, and all the League Cups and League Challenges, or I guess all the League Challenges had started at this point. So my Twitter feed was just filled with people playing League Challenges. Now, because, as you know, I whiffed at EUIC and I didn't get any points, I'm in this position now where I'm at 100 out of 200 points. So I need another 100 points in order to get my Worlds invite. I was supposed to get 80. How entitled is that? I was supposed to get 80. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. I was hoping to get at least 80 by making top 256. I wasn't supposed to. You're not supposed to get anything in Pokemon. Let me make that very clear. No one's entitled to anything in Pokemon. I was hoping to get 80 points. Didn't. So I was at this point where now I was fully relying on NAIC to get the last part of my invite, which is kind of risky because it means like you cannot choke at NAIC, and there's a lot of variance in Pokemon, so that could happen. So I was looking at all the people playing League Challenges, and I was like, man, I wish I was back home. This is actually killing me. Everyone's playing Pokemon. I'm not. This sucks. Mind you, I just come off the back of EUIC and played like a week and a half straight of it. But I was itching for some games. So I started looking at the event tracker on Pokemon.com, and I was trying to find League Challenges in Italy. And I was in like this weird spot where I was in Florence. So like that weekend I'd missed everything. The next weekend was the only weekend that I could do anything before I had to fly back to Australia. The problem was on the Saturday coming, I was going to be traveling, so I wasn't going to be able to do an event. So the only day that I could do an event was the Sunday. Okay. And I was like, this is a wash. Like, I'm not going to find anything. And then I kept looking. And then I found a League Cup in Viterbo, which is a city 2 hours north of Rome. And I was going to be in Rome on the Saturday. So on the Sunday, there was this League Cup that I could go to. Now, I was joking about, hey, how funny would it be to do a League Cup to Brent? Because Brent was still in Europe. But I had no idea that Brent was actually going to be in Italy at the same time. This is Brent Tonneson, who's Australia's #1 ranked player. Wet Goose over on Twitter. I should link that because, yeah, as Nat and I were joking at the moment, he has absolutely no clout. So we're trying to like lift his clout game up. Or at least I am. I'm doing my best. Let's get him up there. All right? So Brent Tonneson, this is Wet Goose. Everyone go throw him some follows. At this point, I didn't realize that Brent was in Italy at the exact same time as I was. And he's like, hey, that cup, I can make it. All right, I can make it to that cup. And I was like, wait, for real? He's like, yeah, I'm going to be in Rome on Saturday night so we can go on the Sunday. I was like, bro, I'm going to be in Rome on Saturday. We're doing this. This is actually happening, right? So Brent and I start getting in touch with the LGS in Viterbo. Viterbo. My Italian is shocking. Viterbo. I will try the Italian pronunciation. So we messaged the store, Dracari's Viterbo, and I was just like using Google Translate, like, hey, is this League Cup on? Like, is it a thing? He's like, yeah. 10 player required. Like they won't run it unless 10 players register. But yeah, it's on. You can register now. So we register. And then from Monday to like Saturday, my dad was getting so annoyed because we'd be in line somewhere and then I'd just open up live. I'm like, well, I need to get reps in. So, and dad's like, mate, you're in Italy and you like playing Pokemon. I'm like, I need to. I have the Viterbo, the Lazio League Cup in like 5 days. I got to stay, my hands need to stay warm. So, getting ready for this League Cup, have no idea what to expect because I know that Dario and Alberto Conti, who are two of like Italy's like really strong players. I know that they're almost certainly going to be like going to these League Cups. So we just had no idea what to expect, who was going to be at the event. It could either have been like just sort of like a local event where I guess players that weren't chasing stipend or Worlds invites weren't like, they're not in that area. Or it could be the exact opposite where the players that are chasing travel award or like stipend are like going ham and they're traveling really far out to go to the event as well. So I didn't know what to expect. Now on the Thursday and Friday, I started to get really exhausted because we'd been like walking 20 kilometers every single day because you're doing all this sightseeing. So I was like dying at this point. And then the Saturday night we get to Rome, or the Saturday we get to Rome, new accommodation. And if you've ever been to Italy, you probably know that they love heaters, but they don't like air conditioners. So the room was like super hot. So I'm like, I need to get like the best night's sleep possible because to get to Viterbo, the only way that we could get there was a 2.5 hour train ride, but we had to get the 6:30 a.m. train because the trains ran every 2 hours. So if we got the later train, we weren't going to make it. So we had to get up at like 5:30 to go on this 2.5 train ride to this town in Italy that we had no idea about, just knew nothing about what to expect. We get up, we go, get on the train, 2.5 hours, long ride, get there at like 9, have a coffee, figure out how to walk to the event, and we get lost. By the way, mind you, I've vlogged all of this, so like the video for this is going to be insanely cracked. But yeah, we get there, it's like 10, the store's not open, and then we start to like worry. We're like, is it actually going ahead? Like we have like 30 minutes to go, 10:30, like no one is here. Like, are we actually going to have an event or what? 10:45, they rock up, they open up the doors, and so it's on. Okay, so the cup is happening. We have enough players, and it starts. There's 16 players at this cup. 2 of them we know are cracked because one of them was Eugenio, who is obviously an Italian player. But when I paired with him, he ripped out that EUIC mat that I showed you, the pink one. So I knew that he'd been to EUIC, and we were talking because, like, you know, you can work through the language barrier. So I knew that he'd gone to EUIC. So, you know, if you go to EUIC, you're kind of taking the season pretty seriously. Tied that round, which was okay. I think that was the only like tied round for the day. But the other really strong player there was Christian Dionforia, who came 9th at Utrecht Regionals, which was like, what, a month and a bit ago, or 2 months ago at this point. He played that Lugian Weezing deck. So there was like a bit of competition. Obviously, and Brent was there. So like, Brent's one of the strongest players in Oz, and I was there. So like, I'm not like cracked, but I'm good. I'm above average. I think I'm like above average anyway, right? So League Cup starts, and I had a pretty good run. I went 3-1 or 3-0-1. I only tied to Eugenio, and then I ID'd round 5 to make top cut with Christian. So we just ID'd it. ID is intentional draw for you guys that don't know. So when you know that you're going to make top 4 or top 8 and cut, even if you tie, both players just say, let's just tie so we don't have to play the round if match points aren't like an issue and having to, whatever. The point is, we looked at our match points and we're like, we're going to make top 4. So we'll just ID and then play semi and then final if you win the semi. So we ID. Brent wins his last round, and then Brent pairs with me because I was 2nd and he was 3rd. And so at this point, I'm like, oh, it's whatever. Now, when you play against, okay, so this is going to come from the perspective of a semi-good player, all right? That's new. So when you play against, when you go to these regional events and you play against good players, but like most of the day you're playing against good players. All right, let's just, okay. I'm just trying to like formulate this. So when you go to a regional or like a more, like a structured competitive Pokemon event, every single person you play, you don't know what their skill level is, right? But you kind of know that it's going to be different if it's an established player, like someone that you know. Because if you know their name, then you know that they're kind of like semi-clouded for either like popularity reasons or for like achievement related reasons, because they're like a good player, like they're well established in the game. And I think as a new player, like you automatically, the first time that happens, you kind of get like a little bit shook. Like the lights get a little bit brighter. I think it's really hard to avoid that period. Now, I'm fortunate that
Pussy,
when
my little pickle, kombucha.
Oh, Dark Ray.
These nuts.
Dark Ray, thank you for
Have a
26
nice day.
months. What are you doing up? This was the secret Europeans should be asleep stream, right? Talk smack about all the Europeans. Thank you for 26 months, dude. Dark Ray was one of the people I met at EUIC, by the way, for the first time. Andre. Come on, man. I was joking. You know it was a joke. Okay. So, when you play against a player that you kind of know their name, I think it's natural to get like a little bit shook because you know that they're going to be good. Now, I'm fortunate that I've played in like a lot of international events, or like a lot of like OCIC where I've played against international players, and the Aussie regionals as well where I've played against good Aussie players, because
Pussy, my little pickle,
that's allowed me
kombucha.
to sort of
These
like fast
nuts.
forward
Have a
through
nice
that
day.
feeling. So I've kind of like been able to like speed run past that feeling. Jarzad, thank you for 6 months, you legend. Thank you. It's good to be back. It was a little bit bumpy the first 30 minutes of the stream, but I'm here now. I am fortunate that I'm able to like sort of speed run through those feelings because I've played against strong players in the past. But notably at senior regionals, when I played against Nat for the first time in like a tournament setting. So I played against Nat like casually, but playing against a good player at a tournament is different because the stakes are higher and you automatically go into like, oh crap, like I'm probably going to lose this round mode. And I feel like you do. I feel like you go into this mode where you're like, I'm just going to lose, right? And when I paired with Nat at Sydney, that happened. And I like my mental was just like, it just like broke. And her cloud just like cleaned me out before the round even started. I'd already lost, right? And it is all mental. It is all mental, right? Like Libero says, Jeremy Ling. I'm not doxing you by saying that, but that is Jay Lim from Sydney, who came second at Sydney Regionals, one of the Aussie players. And he's one of those players where I've played against Jeremy before, but I feel like if I paired him that day, I would cook myself. So having already played Nat, I'd already like worked through those feelings. And after I played Nat at Sydney, I was like, never again will I let that happen to me. I'm never letting that happen to me again, right? So after I played Nat at Sydney, I kind of like was free of that, which was good. And that is proof that it is all mental because it turns off. Like once you've done it once and you realize there wasn't any difference in any other round, like it's gone. And then once you can appreciate and realize that, then it never happens to you ever again. And then once that happens, you instantly become a better player because you don't fear your opponent. Because that is like a big part of Pokemon. Like if you're worried about your opponent and the deck they're playing, like, but not, and you worry about that stuff that doesn't matter, right? Because the only stuff that matters is the cards you draw and what they draw and what the board ends up looking like. Then you already lose the round. So because of all that, sorry, long way to explain why it didn't bother me that I paired with Brent. Because of all that, it didn't bother me that I paired with Brent. And Brent and I, we played it out. So we played that round out and we wanted it to be, and I'm glad like the round went the way it did because it was good. We played it out. We wanted it to be like the winner decides who is progressing to the final. I won game one. This is actually quite funny. So, okay. So we pair. And mind you, Brent and I are playing the exact same 60 cards because this is the same EUIC list. So I was playing Pidgeot V with 3 Nest Ball, but right before the event started, I changed back to 4 Nest Ball and no Pidgeot V because I liked the consistency a little bit more. And that was the same list that Brent was running. So same 60, we roll, Brent wins toss. Brent elects to go second. Now, I always go first in this matchup because I just always go first when I play Lost Box Turbo because it doesn't matter whether you go first or second. You're almost always getting to 7 or 10 in the Lost Zone by turn 2 anyway. So starting second and getting the Colress, maybe getting that extra knockout doesn't really matter as much. I value getting to the Sableye before my opponent, and I've got a better chance of getting to Sableye and 10 in the Lost Zone than my opponent if I go first. But Brent was kind of worried about bricking because if you don't start the comfy, but you have the Colress going first, you're not getting any lost zone build up. It's awkward. And if you don't see the VIP pass, again, you're at this significant disadvantage. So Brent elected to go second, even though he won toss. And he doesn't get a good start. And I get a good start, and I'm just winning this game like from the get-go. I'm like straight to 10 by like turn 3. I think I had 7. I think I even got a Greninja Moonlight Shuriken on turn 2. So like the prize lead was well and truly there. Brent played out most of game 1 until I won it, because it can also flip at any point. Like if I started to misplay, Brent just comes back into that game. So we played out game 1. He didn't scoop it early at any point. Because yeah, I am a player that could potentially make that misplay and then lose it, because I'm not that crack. So I win game 1. Game 2, I choose to go first. Brent goes second again. And it's kind of like game 1, except now I'm on the back foot. So Brent wins game 1. Even though it wasn't like I wasn't too disadvantaged. Like he was in a much better spot than I was early. No, I think I was forced to play the Raikou V early, and I didn't want to, but I had to play Raikou V so I could Seal Stone to get a Colress. Otherwise, I was just definitely going to lose. So playing the Raikou was like a hindrance at that point. But I had to do it. Otherwise, yeah, I just wasn't playing the game. So I lost game 2, and then game 3 starts. And I think we got about like 2 minutes into game 3, and then they call time. And before game 3 started, Brent and I were joking about first or second. So because I lost game 2, I got the pick. Now, I always go first in this matchup, like always. But Brent got in my head about bricking. At that point, I didn't want to brick. And I'm like, I feel like I'm going to brick if I go first. And we were kind of like laughing about it and joking about whether I'd go first or second or not. And then I was like, eventually I was just like, all right, screw it. I'll go second. And that's like the first time I've gone second in this matchup ever. So I go second, and I get a good setup. I have 2 Comfy and a Cramorant. And about 2 minutes of the game go by, and the judge calls time. And it's my turn at this point. Now, Brent left a Sableye in the active and a Greninja on the bench. He kind of had a bad setup. And the judge goes, that's time. It's golden prize. Now, golden prize is whoever takes the first knockout wins. I've never been in a semi-final. I've never been in Top Cut before, so I don't know how the rounds are established and who wins the round when it goes to like a tie or a time situation like that where it's game 3 of time. So I didn't know what to expect, but the judge just said it's golden prize, so first knockout wins. Now, I had Cram on the board. He had a Sableye on the active. All I had to do was get the 4 in the lost zone, and I had Beach Court, Lost Vacuum. I think I didn't have a Colress, but I had done enough Comfy. I think I'd Comfy twice, and I had Beach Court, Lost Vacuum in my hand, and the Cram on the bench, and a way to retreat that didn't put the Greninja up. So I just pulled off the combo, got 4 in the lost zone, knock out the Sableye, and that is how I won the semi. So it was because that I had just like, because I had elected to go second, I won that game. Otherwise, I don't win it. So that's why it was just a very variance-based win. And I know like all of Pokemon is like variance-based wins, but if I had gone first, I lose that game and I lose that round and I don't go to the final. So it was cooked. The whole thing was cooked, but yeah, that was the win. And then that was onto finals against Christian Onoforio, sorry. And then I just won that. That game was actually streamed. So because that was streamed, I'm able to download the VOD and then put it all into the Lazio League Cup video that'll go up on YouTube, which is going to be one of the most cursed videos of all time. It is so scuffed. Like by the end of it, I just started filming it with my iPhone on selfie mode because I kind of got like, I was just like, I'm not bringing out the cameras and the mics for this. We're just going with scuff mode. But that was it. So because I won that was plus 50 championship points. And now I'm sitting at 150 out of 200. So yeah, even though EUIC didn't go as well as I'd liked, I'm still in it. Like I'm still able to get to the invite. I just need to like win a few challenges, maybe place at a cup, and I can get my invite before I go to North America. Otherwise, NAIC is the place to do it. Or, yeah, I'm not going to Worlds. Bro's got more than me now. There's an argument to be made that that's because I am just playing as many things as possible. And not because I'm actually good. I guess the funniest part of the whole thing, and I was thinking about this on the way back home, was if I hadn't have choked so hard at EUIC, I never would have done the League Cup. Because if I had done well at EUIC and gotten plus 80, I would have just been like, yeah, I'm chilling. I'll just do a couple league challenges when I get back, do a League Cup. We'll get the last 20 points. It's fine. But because I didn't do that, I was in this position where my back was against the wall. I had to play the cup. And like, I didn't appreciate how important the cup was until I won it. Because winning the cup put me in stipend contention, which I didn't even know was a thing. Top 16 for the quarter. So I'm in stipend contention now. And also it's put me in this position where I can get my invite before I go to NAIC. And if that happens, I think I'm going to enjoy NAIC a little bit more. I think I'm going to play maybe even a bit riskier NAIC. Like my deck building decisions might be a little bit edgier because I'll be looking to build a day 2 deck rather than a day 1 deck, if that makes sense. So like that means I'd build a deck that has a better chance of making it through day 2 rather than a deck that's just going to get to day 2. Because in day 2, a day 1 deck might not have enough text to deal with day 2 where things are a little bit spicier, because players that make day 2 are more than likely looking to win the event. So they're building their deck in a way that can deal with the stronger decks by the end of day 2. If that makes sense to a new player, I'm glad, because that is a thing that nobody really talks about, or like you don't know until you start playing, but is definitely a thing to be aware of. Chat. Jeremy, Prof, shut up. BG, good day. What's good? What city do I recommend to stay in? Definitely Melbourne. Melbourne is a good hub that can let you travel to any part of Vic, really. Definitely Melbourne, 100%. And then Perth. Go to the beach. So yeah, because I didn't do well at EUIC, I went to the League Cup. And then because I went to the League Cup, I won a League Cup, which was so cool. And I think I'm the first Australian player to ever win an Italian League Cup. I'm pretty sure I am the first Australian player to ever do that. So that's a fun little poker stat for you. And I am of Italian heritage, so that's like an extra little dub. I did feel kind of bad thinking about like gatekeeping Italian players from one of the League Cups they have. But I think, and I'm not just saying this because I won it, I think that's just the circuit at the moment. It's just a consequence of this season of Pokemon. Like, it's very cutthroat. It's very competitive. So if a good player is in a region that has a cup or challenge at that time, they're probably going to go to it because it's not certain that that player is going to have a cup or challenge in their region that they're able to win, because that is the reality of it. I think there's like 2 League Cups in Melbourne, and there's like at least 15, 20 players that are interested in either winning or top 8ing those cups. So yeah, if you apply that line of thought to anything, it all falls apart. That's right. And so because there's like strong Aussie players, like me being like, you know what? I'm going to leave this cup for another player is not a professional player's, it's not a responsible line of thinking for a player taking the season seriously. It might be semi-noble, but it's not smart if you're being competitive. Because if I hadn't won that cup, my path to Worlds becomes harder because you got players like Nat, Jeremy, Jake Laz, Ben, Darcy, Angus, Brent, Henry, like all the cracked Aussie players that are trying to like lock up travel award, and they are. We know you are. Or stipend, Luke, Peter. Yeah, it just instantly like becomes ultra competitive. So we take the cup. They get 18 billion League Cups. Oh, I don't feel bad at all then. Oh, okay, cool. Now I don't feel bad. I didn't feel bad to begin with. I kind of thought about it, but then I was like, nah. If you want the points, just win. That's what it comes down to in general. If you want the points at anything, at any Pokemon event, just win. And then you don't feel bad. So don't feel bad about anything. What do you mean? I said Das. I said Darcy. I literally said your name. Go back and watch the VOD. I said it. Just get good. Exactly. So yeah, that was the Sunday. And then I think, oh yeah, so the final finished at like 8:30 p.m. and it happened so quickly. So, okay. So the round with Brent finished at like 7:20 and the last train out of Viterbo was 9. I said your name, Formula. Do you want me to directly dox you? So the round with Brent finished at 7:20 and the last train out of Viterbo left at 9 p.m. So the final had to wrap up quickly and it did. I 2-0'd Christian, finished at 8:30, got my Italian box. Oh, I didn't show you the box. What the hell? I told that whole story. Hang on. Let me get the box. This is my box. It's an Italian booster box, but this is what I got for winning the event. Scarlet e Violetto. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but in Italian. Comincia una nuova avventura con I Pokemon EX. Forza Italia. Giochi di carte collezionabili. I really got to learn Italian so I can speak with my cousins. So, got my box. Didn't get a mat, which was a little bit disappointing. That was a little bit disappointing. I didn't get a League Cup champion mat. Because apparently the mats aren't in Europe yet. So, but yeah, finished at 8:20. Got a lift to the station, which was really nice. And then got on this 2.5 hour train that kept stopping, which was cursed. I thought, I actually started to get worried. Like, don't catch a train to Italy. Don't catch a train through Italy past 9 p.m. It got real. It got real. But yeah, I got back and then that was it. So Monday, Tuesday was spent like sightseeing through Rome. I think, yeah, Monday I went to the Pantheon. You guys saw me post all those pictures of my Lost Box deck around the sites in Italy, which was kind of fun. That was cool. And then Tuesday I went to the Colosseum and the Forum. And then Wednesday flew back at like 3 p.m. It was a 26-hour transit time. And I stayed awake for 24 hours of it. I got back last night at 10:30 p.m. Head to pillow at 12 or 1 a.m. And then here we are, back at it. The whole thing starts again. You know, I couldn't resist streaming, so I came online. Tomorrow is a stream of Champions League, which is Japan's big tournament.
My little pickle, kombucha.
In the new format.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
Sakana Sensei, thank you for the resub. Thank you for 17 months in a row, you boss. Thank you very much. I had a great time. It was really good. And I'm glad I got to spend all that time in Italy with my dad too. But it felt being really weird away from content, but that's just life. Matt should get shipped to you though, or rather your family. Oh, let's go. Okay, let's go. That's good. Gaming? Why am I speaking Italian with a Japanese accent? Bilingual things. Don't at me. So, yeah, that was the trip. It was really good. I had a fun time, and I'm glad I was able to do that thanks to Pokemon, I guess, or because of Pokemon, if that's... Like, I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Pokemon, which is cool. Now, I'm seeing a lot of... This is really cool. I'm seeing a lot of the Aussies talk about the cup situation. So this is something that Ben and I are going to like chat about on Sunday after the Bendigo League Challenge. We're going to do a stream this Sunday night in Australia. So it'll be like European, UK time zone. But we're going to try and cover and talk about what's going on in Australia a lot more. And so that people can see what's happening in our circuit a bit. But it's fun seeing the Aussies talk about everything in here. It's like a big old catch up. This is beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to the Bendigo League Challenge this Sunday. It's about an hour and a bit drive from where I am. I'm going with Prof BK, co-host of Busted, Ben. Who else is going Sunday? Darcy. So I know Darcy's going because Darcy's really close. Jeremy's not going because it's too soon. I'm going to open up that Italian Scarlet Violet booster box, by the way. So that's definitely going to be content. Almond is going to cap, so better register. Store is so tiny. I've already registered for the Almond League Cup. So I'm doing that. I feel bad about Queensland having no cups, but then think about New South Wales. I can't believe Sydney... Yeah, New South Wales has no league cups, which is tragic. Didn't Queensland have a cup already? I think Queensland had one league cup, and that's it. And it happened while all the Brisbane players, all the Queensland players were were in London still. It's so funny. This is the only weekend we can hold it. Sure, buddy. They definitely stooge you guys. You're not going to Bendigo this weekend. You're not going to Jeremy's not going to Bendigo. You're not in Victoria this weekend. If I got myself to Ben's house, can I come? Of course you can. Yeah, just come. I'm driving. I'm going to go to Ben's and then I'm going to take us to Bendigo. So, yeah, that's the next bit of the season is now the League Cup chase. I'm going for... Is it cringe if I say that I'm going for the Travel Award? Jeremy kind of like gaslit me into going for Travel Award. So if you make top 4 in the region for that quarter, you get a Travel Award from Pokemon. They hook you up with the money to cover your travel expenses to the next IC. I'm definitely shooting for it because it's like a possibility. Because I'm in this spot where I'm going to NA for... You guys know that I'm going to Card Party June 10, so I'm going to be in America. And so it's like, I'm going to be in America, so I may as well go to NAIC because that's like a thing that you just got to do. So I'm going to be at NAIC. So because I'm going to be there, I'm going to have a good shot at getting points, and not a lot of Aussie players are going to go to NAIC. So if you do well at NAIC and you do well in this little period of Pokemon at your local events, you can cap your championship points for this quarter. So, sorry, let me rephrase that. So, let me flesh that out a little bit more. So the idea is in each quarter, the person who gets the top 4 people that get the most amount of points get a travel award, championship points for the next quarter of events. There's also travel stipend, which is top 16. Okay, so the idea is in this little month, where the League Cups and Challenges are, where you can get a best finish at 2 of a League Cup and 2 of a League Challenge. A best finish limit means your best finish for that event is limited. So let's say you play 4 cups. At 2 of them, you get 40, and at the other 2, you get 32. You don't get 40 plus 60. You don't get 104 points. 32, 64 plus 80. You don't get 104. You don't get 104. Let me make a better example. Let's say at 2 of those events, you get 40 points each. And then at the other 2, you get 25 points each. Okay. You don't get 140 points, 130 points. You get 80 points because you're limited by your best finishes. Okay. So let's say, and then, okay, guys, I'm blaming jet lag. I'm also part stupid and I'm tired. We're going to start that example again. let's go. From the top, let's go. Okay, so for this quarter, you get a best finish limit of 2 at League Cups and League Challenges. They're different events, okay? So let's say you get 4 finishes at a League Cup, at 4 different League Cups. 2 of them are 40 points each, and then the other 2 are 25 points. So you go 40, 40, 25, 25. That doesn't mean that you get 130 championship points. It means you get 80 because you're capped by your 2 best finishes, which are the 40 and the 40. The same applies to League Challenges. So if you do 4 League Challenges, you get 15, 15, and then 10, 10. You don't get 50. You get 30. 15, 15. You understand? So for this quarter, the most amount of points you can get from League Cups and League Challenges is 130. 50, 50 for winning 2 cups, and then 15, 15 for winning 2 challenges. The idea is that if you finish with 130 from cups and challenges, and then go to the next major as an Australian player, which is NAIC, and then do well, then you're positioning yourself to get the travel award versus the players that either don't go to NAIC from Australia, because you'll automatically then push past their 130 cap, or you do better than the other Aussie players at NAIC. Now, at the ICs, I feel like the Aussies, we're all competing together to do the best that we possibly can as a country, but we're also like competing to finish higher than each other as well in a way. So like you're not working against each other directly, but you are trying to finish better than each other. It's friendly competition. It's how I think it's healthy anyway. I've got on the vibe that's healthy. So we're all encouraging each other to like. That's why Jeremy's like gaslighting me into going to North America. Well, I'm already doing that, but he's gaslighting me to like do well in this quarter. That's why I said I don't know if it's kind of cringe to say I'm going for travel award now, but I think because I won the cup, like Darcy said, it's going to be easier with a win already. That's why I'm going to it. I'm going to try and do it. I don't want to I'd never want to come across as cocky in Pokemon. I think that's kind of cringe. But I think it's okay to be like confident. Also, I think it's kind of flawed if you come across as cocky in Pokemon. I think you're going to like get checked real quick because Pokemon isn't like chess where like it's all skill dependent from both like knowing lines, knowing matchups, knowing strategies and plays against certain strategies and plays, and the mind game aspect. Pokemon has variance. So like you could be the best player in the world but still lose to variance because variance is unforgiving. So I think being cocky in Pokemon is really flawed. My throat is dry. So that's the goal. The plan for the next week is I'm going to put my head down and edit the Viterbo League Cup video alongside the EUIC video. Blendy is pushing through an edit at the moment of the Neo Genesis box break. So we're hoping to get that video done in the next month. He's done a pretty good job so far. We're going to try and put a version of this stream as like a condensed, like this is what happened in Europe video. So that might go up on the weekend. I'm pretty sure it will. We'll see anyway, but that's the goal. Tomorrow is the Champions League in Japan, which is day 1 of their first like big event in the new format, and our first look at like a competitive tournament setting for the new format that we'll be playing in June for NAIC Paldea Evolved, because what's come out, Clay Burst and Snow Hazard have already come out in Japan, which is the set that's going to have all the Paldea Evolved cards in it. So tomorrow is going to be our first look at that event. So I'm going to be co-streaming that with Henry Brand, which is going to be kind of fun. I'm going to say kind of fun. I'm going to say really fun. We're going to do some stuff in between rounds as well. It's best of 1 though. So it's not a like for like look into what the events or the tournaments will be like, but it's a good way to see some of the decks, some of the strategies the players are going to try and execute leading up into NAIC. It's just a good thing to watch. If you're trying to take NAIC seriously, it's a pretty good thing to watch. So we're going to watch that, provide our commentary over the top of it. And then on day 2, I think some other players might stream day 2 of Champions League on the Sunday. I'll shout all those guys out. But Ben and I are heading off to Bendigo for a league challenge. So I'm going to try and get my other 15 there, or one of my best finishes there at the challenge. And then when we get back from the league challenge, we're going to stream an episode of Busted. So Busted will be back this Sunday night. That'll be for the European and UK audience because it'll be a bit late in the day for us. And then, geez, bloody hell, it's all happening. Between now and next weekend, I want to finish Pokemon Scarlet because I want to finish that before Tears of the Kingdom come out. Zelda. And then it's another 4 weeks. I'm flying out for North America, which is crazy. So it's a wild month of content here at the okJLUV channel, but I hope you will enjoy it. We'll be working hard. Just cool stuff on the horizon. I'm not going to Fresno, no, I can't. So Card Party, the convention that I'm going to in Cali is the same day as Fresno. So no, I won't be there. Flying to Oslo next weekend for my first cup. You're flying for a cup. It's normal. Good luck, dude. Do you know what you're going to play? Don't play Maridon. Yeah, it's funny. So I know one Aussie player that's gone to Fresno, which kind of blows the whole it kind of blows the whole travel award thing up. Because someone's going to have a big advantage over the other three, the top 4 spots. One of the 4 is going to have a pretty cracked player going for those points. They're going to have Fresno and North America and an EUIC under their belt. You'll enjoy meeting him. He's a bloody legend. I'm going to Portland and Fresno, and I'm bringing Maridon. Look, nothing wrong with playing Maridon. Just don't be upset when you lose. Deal? He already posted that he's going? Yeah, true. Cat's out of the bag. Feels bad when you go into Worlds with 3 people and 2 of them have their invite already and the other one is going to judge. Hey, how do you think I feel? I'm hanging around like everybody who's already got their invite and like multiple people that have TA and day 2 locked up. How do you think my anxiety's holding up? It's doing better now that I won the cup though. I guess the other thing that I wanted to say about the cup was that was one of the very rare, like once in a lifetime moments where the content lines up with like the competitive season. Cause like I was always going to vlog the League Cup because like that was just going to be a fun vlog anyway, right? And content. But Brendan and I were going on and on and on about the narrative. Like the narrative for this video was insane. Like it's 2 hours out from Rome. 2 Aussie players that just happened to be in the same spot at the same time in Europe after the IC, meeting up, going to a League Cup, the early morning train, like everything about it was labored. The struggle was real. To do that video and then win the cup, the narrative is like insane. Like it's a storyline that you don't get often with content. So I was like very happy that that played out the way it did because it means that the League Cup video is going to just have like the most cracked storyline ever. Winning was just like the icing on top. The content being good was the icing on top. Winning was the best part because those 50 points were very important. But I never would have done the League Cup if I did well at EUIC, so it's crazy. My friend Tobias, who got 11th at EUIC, has Worlds locked up but isn't going. And I'm like, bruh, he should totally go. That's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. The first ever Worlds in Japan. Like he should 100% go. You need to gaslight him into going. Yeah, Natalie, we've been talking about the video title. I've been talking about the video title behind your back, Nat. Jeremy had a pretty good one. Juju's Bizarre Adventure. I think JLUV's Bizarre Adventure is like pretty good. I think that's a subtitle. I think I'll just put that as a subtitle in the video. I still think like I won something along the lines of I flew to Italy for a Pokemon tournament and won. Something along the lines of that is good. Hand the invite to me so I can bottom table. Like, if the money is an issue for your friend, and I can understand why it would be, totally. Like, he's gonna probably make it back from the event with the merch, or close to. He needs to just look at it as like a fun holiday. If he's not sweating about playing, he should just be like, let's just go and game. You won't believe where I went for a Pokemon tournament. Nah, we need fewer characters. Remember, Nat, the less words, the better. I forgot to show you guys this, by the way. I bought this from the Pokemon Center. This was like a big deal for me because they never have Totodile plushies. Anytime I look, I never see Totodile. Maybe you guys have got them in London, in America, but this was the first time I've ever seen a Totodile plush, so I had to buy this. I was very excited. Yeah, I think I won a tournament in Italy. I won a Pokemon tournament in Italy. Or I won a tournament in Italy is pretty good because that's like more general. Anybody could click on that. The video is so cursed. It is so cursed. Has someone ever gone 0-10 or 0-9? Hey, if I went 0-10 at Worlds, I would not care. How I accidentally beat the best player. That's so good. Yeah, but then Brent will just say, I'm washed, blah, 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 blah. If I have to listen to Brent say I'm washed one more time. Stop saying you're washed. It is, I know, Henry. I was just saying, like, every Oz player is in here right now. It actually is a nerd convention. Oh my God, another one. There's another one. James, what's good? We were just talking about you. Not in a bad way. I mean, look, in a semi-good way. Hey. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys as well. Yes, Lola got fat while I was away. She's actually really fat now. She's a little chonker. Come here, chunky. Oh. She's all fat now. Whoa. That was a big yawn. Whoa. Oh yeah, Stitch is like 100% recovered as well. She's back to normal. Stop yawning, Lola. Okay. She doesn't like being picked up. Look at her. Okay. Who would have thought stream during an Aussie time zone and all the Aussies rock up? True. Well, while you guys are here, we're gonna do a big, like I was saying, Ben and I are gonna do like a Aussie circuit discussion on Sunday night. So, and it's those streams are pretty like open mic. Like if you guys want to just like jump in and say anything, just we'll chat about it all in there. It should be a good watch. And for the European and US players that are interested, yeah, you'll be able to see what we're all up to. Because we're cooking down here. Nat says we're washed, but we're not. We're coming. I'm telling you. Print it. Print it. Publish it. Aussies are coming. Aussies and NAIC. Look, there's this clip. If this doesn't fire you up, as an Aussie, I don't know what will. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna pull this up now. I always think about this. When he said this, I was like, I'm gonna make you eat those words, man. We're coming for you. All right, let me pull this up. This window? Yeah. All right, this here. Whoa. Let's see what minute it was. I can't remember. Give me a minute. I should have this on speed dial. If it was that much in my head, I would have it on speed dial. Can you tell I haven't streamed for like 4 weeks?
That card reveal, did it kind of sing to you a little bit, or did you kind of put it away until later on in your testing for the event?
I thought there was maybe potential for it to be pretty powerful and kind of set up some kind of like check.
Just quietly, I love this video. I love this interview so much. I've never spoken about this. The reason why I love this interview so much is because Azul starts like so like not like like a normal pace of conversation, and then like ramps up into like turbo mode in like 1 minute. He starts talking so damn quickly.
Check mate deck where you kind of just out in the meta for some cards. Like Lugia
Net list, which is what we call
like do really well based on the deck they built and making. Yeah, I think playing against Reagan in the final, focus on your play and making many Americans doing well was pretty cool as well. Like
Okay, it's here. All right, so every Aussie player should just know that this is a clip that exists and use this as like fuel, because Azul didn't mean this in a mean way, but from a competitive as a competitor, I would like want to prove this wrong. I want to see this proven wrong. I want to see an Aussie win and then like play this clip back. It will be so goated.
You got out of LA and we played. Yeah, I think playing against Reagan in the finals was pretty cool. I played against Reagan 3 times this season. We played at LAIC, and then we played at Orlando most recently. So I'm up 2-0-1 on him. We tied at LAIC. I'm excited to play against Reagan some more in the future. So many Americans doing well was pretty cool as well. Like you Australians kind of dropped the ball a little bit.
we did. We're a little bit disappointed in that.
Yeah, definitely a little bit. I mean, you guys have some really strong players for sure. And yeah, you guys need to get an IC win eventually. You guys got to pull it together somehow.
We're gonna do it in NA. We're gonna come up there, man.
Hey, man. I mean, that's fine. You guys got to get one on the board.
I know. We do. Do you have?
See that should be living rent free in all of our heads as an Aussie player. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys don't take that as seriously as I do it from that front. But I want to see an Aussie win so that I can be like, we did it. So that people stop saying that they're washed everywhere. Because Brent just keeps saying he's washed. Nat's saying she's washed now too. Jeremy's saying he's washed. Pull it together. The only person that doesn't say they're washed is Darcy. But he's actually washed, so maybe it's like a self-report thing. Anyway, all I know is I'm unwashed after my dub, so I'm feeling good. I'm still flying high. I'm not letting it go. Even though Formula 1 was making fun of me and saying I win 1 cup and I parade the streets, it was goated. We will take our world's win. Second, exactly. It'll happen. James is saying James Cox saying he's washed as well. Like the season after he top 4s. You're only washed if you have 2 or 3 bad seasons in a row after a finish like that. So you're not washed. Can't be washed if you don't play. True? No, I think NA is going to be our event. We'll make it happen there. Someone will make it happen at NA. You can take that with you. I'm washed, but that implies there was a time I was unwashed. Why do you do me like that? Got to be good to be washed? You said you did say you were washed too. You said you were washed after Perth. All right, I'll leave you with this. Winning an event, even a League Cup, as small as it is, just unwashes any bad feelings you have about any other performance. So the game is like 99% mental. It's all mental. You just push past like bad experiences and then you do well again. I want a challenge. I'm unwashed. Exactly. No, you think I'm joking. You are. Like you're unwashed. That's how it works. once you get a dub on the board, you're unwashed. It's true. It's not even a meme. It's not even arrogant or cocky to say that. Own it. It's all, I told you the other day, it's about pivoting. Turn L's into dubs. You can do it. You can do it. It's just make everything character development, and you're never losing, ever. You're literally never losing. It was just part of my character development. And eventually you'll win, and then you'll be like, see, I told you guys. It was not copage. The game's only over when you stop playing. That's the other thing. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna go, I might have a nap because I'm a little bit tired. It's true. If my mental was better, I would have drawn well. Turn those lemons into lemonade, man. Oh, that is good. All right. I will be back tomorrow with Benry TCG, and then I'll be back on Sunday with Prof BK, and then I might be back on Monday to finish Scarlet and Violet, and then it's probably back to the real world for me. My little fairy tale holiday is over. Before we head out, I am going to shout out all these peeps that have just jumped in the stream today because they are goated. James CTCG, James Cox. That didn't work. Whoops. James CTCG. All right, this is James Cox. His YouTube is also James CX. He's constantly streaming PTCG live gameplay, specifically Lost Zone, but he's playing like basically every meta deck at the moment. So if you're looking to get better as a player, check out James's streams. You will definitely pick a thing or two up over there. There is also Benry TCG, the one and only Henry Brand. He's also streaming over at Benry TCG every now and then when he feels like it. But he'll be live tomorrow. Or he'll be with me tomorrow. He might be live Sunday. I don't know. We'll see whether the man wants to go live or not for day 2 of Champions League. But again, you can always learn plenty watching Benry play, or Henry, sorry. And Natalie Miller, another very, very strong Aussie player from the QLD region, Queensland. I shouted out before, but I'll just say the same thing again. She's goated. You will definitely learn from her as well. Her YouTube is going to pop up soon. Although she does have a VOD from a couple of days ago of a tier list stream for all the sort of meta decks in this, well, the meta decks in this format. She went through and ranked them all based on how she felt they were. You can check that out if you're looking to pick up a deck for this format and you're not sure what's going to be good or not, or like what's accessible or what's hard or easy to pilot, what's suitable for your skill level or the kind of deck you want to play. That will be a stream to watch and definitely learn from. So check out Natalie Miller too. Benry, James, Natalie, and nobody else streams. Limitless has a food blog. Mr. Darcy is just a gamer. Poker Lotto is in the chat. Sorry, Poker Lotto is from Instagram. And TikTok, a website I don't know how to use. But I'm going to link Poker Lotto's Instagram as well. Fun fact, Poker Lotto, first ever regional that he ever played in. And he came 12th, Sydney Regional. I kind of doxed you by saying that, but whatever. You're fine. First ever Pokemon Regional, and he came 12th, which is goated. And that was the first ever day 2 for an Australian Regional. So, hey, he's an up-and-comer. All right. That's it for the stream. Thanks for coming down. It was good to catch up with all you guys. This might go up, or it will probably go up. It should go up as a video. It will go up as a video, one way or another. Sorry, Lotto. So you can find me over at YouTube. You've also got the streams, which are here. Instagram, Discord, Twitter. You can join our Discord. That's where you're most likely to see me. But yeah, that's it. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm a little clout goblin. We're all clout goblins deep down. And just follow, for Brent's mental, follow Brent. He needs to get some clout. Even if you follow him and then mute him, just follow him and then mute him if you don't care about him. No, follow him and like all these tweets. Everybody should just go like all of Brent's tweets right now. And Jeremy Lim. True, Jeremy has a Twitter. Sorry, I should have said that, Jeremy. So these are all the Aussie players. Just Aussie player shout out. Okay. James, you're a dog. He wasn't even following. He wasn't even following, and I still shouted him out. What a dog. Animal. You're an animal. All right, guys, that's the stream. Link my Twitter and Pab. I don't want to dox you publicly. I tagged you in the tweet. You're already there. All right, see you guys. It was good to catch up. Hopefully tomorrow I won't be as scuffed. Take care. Okay, we're ending. Goodbye. Goodbye. See you later. Bye, Pokelotto. See you, Libero. Bye, Nintendo Box. Peace out, Pab. Bye, James. I'll message you soon. All right, see you later.